Hi and welcome to my PlayHouse, and today I'm gonna be replacing my good old trusty Lenovo x3650 Model 4 because the system board died in it. And I will add again that this is the first system board in a Lenovo/IBM server that has ever died on me, and I have worked with 300 plus of these IBM/Lenovo, all kind of different servers. I have a lot in here. I have probably 100 servers in here, and first one ever died. But as you saw in a previous video where I tried to bake this system board, didn't end out any better. Well, actually it ended out worse, because now all the memory sockets are melted, or well, the plastic thingy to keep the memory blocks in place has melted. So I'm gonna be replacing that server with this server. It's the same model, just different, but we'll see that when we get into it. But as this server, I've been doing all kind of experiments on it, so it's more or less very bare inside. So I'm just gonna put in the minimum things here and get it out of here. Actually, I'm just gonna get it out of here, and I'm gonna trade places with this one and put stuff forth and back, and I thought that would be interesting. That's a really terrible angle. Well, I guess it will have to do. So this one goes out. I'm gonna put it right here for a little bit, while I'll take this one and put that in instead. And we're gonna take this one and put over here on the washing machine. So now the two servers has traded places. Here is the old burned one. These has actually changed colors. Looks like the baking is good. It has a crisp surface and everything. So I want to move some stuff over into this. And though most of the stuff has already been moved because I have been experimenting so much with it, but it does have some drives here, so I definitely want those out because they are good solid state drives there. And we have a Samsung SSD there as well, so we want to put those in here. I have this little battery that I don't want to lose, so I'm gonna tape it in here right there. Put a piece of tape on that. Oh, maybe that's a bad idea. I'm not sure if I'm short-circuiting. I'll turn it around so that I don't short-circuit it like that. Okay, cool. That's out of the way. So let's open up the lid and have our first look into the new server. Here we go. Very first thing that we see is that there's a fan blower missing, and that's because this server is only equipped with one CPU. So there is missing a CPU, so it only needs 3 fan blowers. So we will we'll make this work with 2 CPUs again, and the CPU that is in here, it's one of the absolute smallest CPUs that you can put in this server, so we're gonna put in something bigger. They're actually right over here. They're 2 2670s, 2.6 gigahertz, 8 cores, and there is just one block of memory, 8 gigabytes. So let's start with changing some CPUs. We can put this CPU in, and we can start by putting this on, otherwise I'll get all the internet police on me. So anti-static wristband, there we go. So let's put this CPU in. Are we in view? We are in view. There. And I will remove this plastic thing. I'll put this out on the other server. And let's open this up. Looks good. Take one of these CPUs. I'm not gonna bother cleaning them up. I have had these CPUs out and in and out and in and in and out so many times that the cooling compound on here is fresh. It has actually not really been used because I've been messing around trying to get the server up and running. So here we go. That was one. And then we're gonna take this one over here. Get rid of this one. This is the original one. I'll have to clean that up. So we'll take this one out. Put that over there. Take that one. And put that in instead. This one goes down first and then this one goes down. So CPU's in, we need some heat sinks. This one, well, needs cleaning. So I'm gonna put on some of this heating compound, thermal compound, and it's, oh, I'm running out of that. So I'll just use a little bit. There. And I cleaned up the heat sinks, nice and clean, so they go in. There. The other one. So, okay, that's the CPUs. And this one goes out on the old one. Protected. I need to save this one. I want that. We need a fan. Let's have this fan there. Clean that a little bit. Totally clean. And put that in here as well. So, oh, there is a blend plate. So that needs to go into the other server. Yep. This server just has one power supply. One power supply is sufficient when there is only one CPU in the system. So, oh, come on here. We have a 550 watt power supply. So I'm just gonna check if it's the same power supply as my other power supplies. Let's see, this is the one from this server. These are the ones from the other servers. Yeah. Okay, the bottom one here is different. That's an Ericsson. So let's put those two in there, 100% alike. Although this one says it's a reversion C and this is an OC. I think we're good. Let's do that. Power supply one in. There's a little blank here that takes up a spot. So I'm gonna put that in the server out there and put this one in. Here we go. Power supplies in. That upgraded. Let's do some RAM. I just cleaned up the processor that was in here, and it's an Intel Xeon E5 2620. This is a 2 GHz CPU. I forget how many cores this has, but it's definitely slower than the one we are putting in there. Also down here, the server has just this one memory block, So let's see that one. Here we have, it's an 8 gigabyte 2RX4 and it's 10,600. Fairly good block of memory, no problems there whatsoever. But we are gonna be putting in these blocks. They are 16 gigabytes and they're DDR3 RAM and they're a bit faster. These are 1866 megahertz RAM blocks. The server can only run that fast if it has the version 2 of the Intel Xeon processors, E5-2600 V2. I only have the V1, but we're gonna put in the fast memory anyway, just because we can. So I'm gonna put those in. So if you have a server that has never had a second CPU, you might come across this, that there is tape over the RAM slots. This means that without this second CPU, this server is only able to occupy the first 12 slots of memory over here. But when the second CPU comes in and the last missing fan over here, well, you can occupy these RAM slots as well. So I'm gonna be doing that. It says it loud and clear on the tape as well. Okay. So here. So on the back here, I have completed putting in RAM. We have the riser card, and this is the most standard riser card for this server. It has 3 slots for PCI Express X16, and these are PCIe 3. But in all of them, it's only 8, 4, and 1, really. So it's not real X16s. It's just the connector that is that. But I had some in the old server. That was a real X16 up here, and this one has a couple of M.2s in it, so I'm gonna be popping those back in. I don't think I want to be using this anymore, but I will wait until later to remove that. When you pop in the second CPU, you also get access to the second riser card over here, and they have taped that as well. So we're gonna remove that. Make sure to put that over there, and I would pop this in. But I just happen to also have the 10G network card that goes down here, so we're gonna put that in as well. We have the Marceline card that pops in there. So we're gonna, to pop that in, we have to remove this finger screw on the back here. There, come on out, there, and remove this little bracket, and then this one goes. There is a little thing here that corresponds with this weird thing there. So if I put that in there and press that down like that, it should pop into space. There's a couple of screws here that I need to tighten, and I have the tiniest of small screwdrivers to do that. So we're gonna fasten that. There. Now we have 2 10G connections coming out the back, fiber optics. Awesome. So now we can pop this card in on top. There. Awesome. Over here on the system board, there's room for a cache controller. The server comes with built-in RAID controller, and that's on the motherboard. It's underneath this, I believe. It's an LSI RAID controller that is down there, and there is room for this cache controller to expand that. So we're gonna be popping that in, and that goes, it lines up like this. A couple of holes in these plastic. There is like one here and one there, so you have those fit, and then you gently persuade it and you press to install. So you press on top of that label, and beneath that is the plug. There is a connection here for the power. It's able to take a power bank. Here is the power bank. This is the plastic for the other server, and in here is the little battery thingy. So we're gonna take that out and put there, and I can put this plastic thing out into the other server now. So I think we can put this piece of plastic on here. I don't think, well, we probably need to go down there again, but right now, no. And the battery goes in one of these compartments, as we see fit. Easier said than done. There, it goes out that way. Close that to keep everything in place. And then we just need this to go down there, and that's a bit of cable management. So over here I normally have my GPU sitting, and this is the AMD, isn't it an AMD? Yes, it's an AMD FirePro graphics card, V7900. But as I'm gonna be firmware updating this server, I'm just gonna put the riser card in empty for a little bit. I have modified this riser card to not have the end here, because that graphics card don't really like the end. So we'll put that in. And well, I think it's about time that we find out if this server is any good. So I'll try and put some power onto it. Okay, this is gonna be exciting. I have a USB key here ready for the firmware update of it. So let's power on. There. Let's put the USB key in. Oh, this looks so much more normal than the other one. And it doesn't power up by itself. So let's power. And it does power up. Oh, it's blinking wildly down there. I hope that stops. But it doesn't look like the other server. This one has its system initializing down here. Yes, this one is working. It has just throttled down the fans, so now it's much more nice and quiet again. I don't think this plastic thing is on very well right now. But just by comparison, this was the LED that never stopped blinking fast on the other server with the bad system board. Here it has now loaded, and the system is getting ready. I have to press boot order. I forget what it is. It's F12 for boot order. And it should see a USB 2 there on the front. Yep, that's the one we want. Right now it does not see, I don't know, it doesn't see the 10G network cards, but that might be okay. So, booting from USB. Yeah, it's doing a lot of stuff. It has seen a lot of new things come into the server, like 2 new power supplies, or at least 1 new power supply. And tool center, it's loading that now. And this is the BOMC, the thing that is gonna update all the firmware on the server. Okay, I made this a couple of weeks ago when I started to mess with this, and I have to get used to the new name. Welcome to Lenovo X3650 Essentials. It used to be called Tool Center Bootable Media Creator, BOMC. Now it's Lenovo Clarity Essential. So we will update, and the mouse actually works, and it sees the machine type. That's awesome. So start updating. I am guessing that this is probably very old firmware that this has, but it is examining that now. That usually takes a bit. Okay, this looks very old. Integrated management module, the new version is 4.31. The current one is 1.5. The Wi-Fi BIOS is 2.4. This one is, the one on here is a 1.1. Dynamic, that doesn't really matter, but let's see what else we have further down. We have the RAID controller, very old. Let's see if it sees more stuff. Yeah, we have the integrated management critical thing. I don't know why that is there twice. So yeah, we will let that update. It needs it. So this is the stuff that is going to be updating. First, it's going to be updating the integrated management module 2. That's the IMM. And then it's going to firmware update the Wi-Fi flash. I'm not sure why it's doing this twice. It might be because it has to update it to some level and then update the rest and then update this to a new level. I have no idea. It has already used about 5 minutes on this. I hope it's gonna be all good. Since the other server or system board died on that machine, I don't like this sound much. But really it's when it's updating the IMM. When it boots the IMM, the server does not know what it's doing, so it runs the fans full speed. Okay, it completed the integrated management module 2 and is now working on the IBM Wi-Fi flash update. Working on the 5th thing here, and that's the server RAID, the built-in RAID controller on the system board. It's running on the very last little bit of the integrated management module. It has had the fans up and spinning full speed, and now they have slowed down again. So I'm expecting that it should be ready to reboot in just a second or two. I successfully upgraded the entire server, so let's next. And finish. We could look at the log. I'm out of time for today, so we're gonna hurry on out of here. Do you really want to exit? I really want an exit. So let's exit. Yeah, that's might be too many, are you sure? I'll take the USB key out of there, and well, we will have the server boot into the BIOS, because I have a few settings there I need to set up. This is one of the dangerous one. I have done this mistake before. I firmware updated an M4, and then I wanted to just power it off, and I did that just when this popped up, and when I did that I had to go back to the previous firmware because that just happened to fuck that up. So now the server is rebooting again, but yeah, that's dangerous. Well, that took way too long. It was really firmware updating all that. I think it rebooted 3 or 4 times. So it's complaining about here about the log file being full. So we could start by emptying out the system event log. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, there is a lot of stuff here. So let's clear system event log. Thank you. Are you sure? Enter to complete. Yes. System event log is cleared. We could just see the system here. System summary. We have the model number, serial number, blah 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 number, unique ID. It's a long number. And then we have 2 CPU packages, and there are 2.6 gigahertz, 8 gigaflops per second. And if we point down, we have 384 gigabytes of RAM, 1.5 volts, and they're right now running at 1066 megahertz. This is because we have fully occupied the server. If we took out 8 blocks of memory, the last block in each of the memory channels, we would get up to 1600 megahertz. But well, I wanted to see all of it running and working. So I need to go in here and I need to make sure that it selects my when I put in my graphics card, I wanted to make sure that it keeps using the onboard graphics, and we do that here by activating onboard device, always using that one. Thank you very much. And we need to go set up the IMM adapter to make sure that I just wanted to take a DHCP address, so we go in here to network configuration and we can see that it's DHCP. Cool. I will disable IP version 6, but I want DHCP with failover. That's cool. It's great. I haven't connected the network cable yet, so that's why it doesn't see anything. Otherwise it actually would. So storage. We have our RAID controller. It's an M5110E. Nice, and it's freshly updated, so that's cool. Operating mode. It's set for efficiency, favor performance. Okay, nice. It sees our 10 gigabit network cards here. Awesome. Okay, I think we're good to go. I will put in the graphics card and I'll turn this server off. Actually, I might do it the other way around. I have turned the server off and I have disconnected power. So I'm gonna put in my graphics card here. In this slot right there. Yep. Now we will put that back in the server. Power cable away. Put this power cable, that has to go over here. So I'll do that. There. We can put the lid on. And we should be good to put that in and go around the back and connect the network cables. The server did come with some nice hard drives. These are 300 gigabytes, 10,000 RPMs. But I would like to put in a couple of SSDs here where my virtual machines are on. So that's in. Okay, that's about it for this time because I'm running both out of battery and out of time. I have to go back to my apartment in Aarhus. Server is booting. Everything is great. So thank you very much to the anonymous donor that supplied this M4 server at my doorstep. And thank you all for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again. And have a really nice day out there. Have a nice day. Bye bye.